15 points. The national average is about 25, 24.
Mm.
So they're almost down 2 touchdowns. But go ahead. Incarnate is a good program, Coach. You know, they really, really do a great job of recruiting the Texas area. You look at them at the past couple of years, they've had some so-so and good seasons. So they got a good program going on out that way. I was able to watch the game. Prairie View had 2 big plays in the first half, and everything else was short. It was stopped. And then in the second half, that's when they blew it open. And Carney Word blew it open, and then Prairie View scored again at the end. So it seemed like they had the game under control from day out the block. But Prairie View did play well. They played very well in the first half.
Looks like they just gave up a lot of yards in the passing game and gave up a lot of yards in the running game. So, they gave up, over 500 yards total offense. So, Prairie View, they gave it up. They didn't have any fumbles, and they had and Prairie View had no turnovers. So they got beat by 28 points and didn't have any turnovers. So it was a pretty sound victory by Incarnate Word. So next thing is UAPB and Alcorn State. I thought this was far more competitive than the actual score, the final score looks. You know what I mean? I thought there were times in this game that UAPB, was going to pull the upset. But, Alcorn found a way at the end of the game to pull it off. This is how we thought it would end up. We thought Alcorn State would win. But is UAPB going to be a much tougher out than we thought they were going to be coming into the season?
I don't think anything changed with UAPB. Hagens went 14-28, 237 yards, 3 TDs. Xavier Vaughn for Alcorn looks like he finally got his act together. Did for 157 yards, 2 TDs. Gibson did 7 receptions, 108 yards, 3 TDs. Again, this is what scares me about UAPB, what hurts me. This kid is playing so well. Is he going? And I just hate having this conversation, but it's just weird. This is where we're at now. Is he even going to be there next year? Because he's showing so much talent. Is he going to be where other schools say, hey, you come over here with the talent you have, come with us, and you play for a winning program? And just one quick thing about Incarnate Word. Just remember that Cam Ward, who might be the Heisman Trophy winner, played at Incarnate Word a couple of years ago. So they are a top program and have been so for a couple of years now. So I just wanted to point that out.
Let's take a pause right there for a second. Let's take a pause for a second and just discuss this for a minute. How surprising is it that the top 2 quarterbacks in major college football were recruited or played in the FCS as freshmen? Is that surprising to you guys, being longtime fans of the SWAC and also FCS football?
Well, here's the thing about it. And Coach, you could correct me if I'm wrong. They would have probably had to have stayed at this level because of the old transfer rules. You would have had to sit out. That's the thing about it. If we don't have these transfer rules that, hey, you can just come and go, because if you came down, you could play immediately. But if you went up or you went lateral, you had to sit out a year.
And you're so right. And in the COVID year, all these kids are playing 5 and 6 years. I mean, hitting the field 5 and 6 years. So they are able to develop on the lower level.
Now Cam Ward and Shador were 2020 quarterbacks. So did that do you think that may have factored into the fact that they may not have been recruited?
Well, Shador was going with that. He was going to FAU, and Cam Ward, from my understanding, was a wing T quarterback.
Yeah.
So that had a lot to do with it. I think, again, sometimes you get put in a position high school wise where you don't get to show the talent that you are.
Right.
So let me ask you this. If a FCS school develops a kid, gets a kid like that, develops a kid like that, should they have the ability to hold on to a kid like that? Does that kid owe that school anything, or should they be able to go and play at the highest level?
I think the school is after him just like in the pros. When they go after a quarterback, they take his contract and they negotiate. Meaning, let's just say Texas Southern got a great guy and Texas won him. I think Texas ought to pay that school, and work some contract out with the kid. Don't hold the kid back, but make sure that school gets, I don't know whether they want to do it by years the kid was there, days, months, how many games he started, his stats, I don't know. But to help all this thing out about you got a bunch of farm teams for the SEC and the Pac.
So that's what I was talking about. And that's what I was kind of leading into. So you believe, Coach, that there should be some compensatory compensation for the school who has the player transfer up a level.
Right, ain't no doubt. I mean, and then you got the kid on scholarship, so you paying him indirectly there as well. You know what I mean? They got to do something to try to slow that down.
So what about this, Coach? This is just what comes to mind. If they take a Cam Ward, they have to pay the school a full scholarship for that kid.
Yeah.
Now again, how many years of full scholarship? I guess it would depend on how many years the kid would play at the next level, but that would provide some real compensation for an FCS school that gets a kid recruited out. Then they get a monetary compensation for that. And it doesn't hurt their program. They can go and replace that player, without, having to. They get money. They get a scholarship that's fully funded that they don't have to pay for losing that kid. I think that's or how about this? An additional scholarship in addition to the 63 or 65 that they already have. So
there's something to think about. NCAA is involved, and now you got more scholarships than the other teams on that level. I think you had it going where they can pay you that scholarship, that loss of scholarship for them taking that kid. I think that's a great idea, and and everything else that you've done to help that kid get where he needs to get, they got to do something. So what we got next, Coach?
All right, so this is what I want to get to. This game right here, Coach. I just want you to talk about this. What does this do for your program when you have a school? You pay a like school, FCS school, you invite them to your place, and they beat the dog crap out of you in front of your fans, in front of your recruits. What does that do to your program, Coach?
I think it just hurts you when you lose to a team at your level like that. I don't see what you gain on playing a school like that. If I'm going to play a school outside the conference, just my opinion, I'm gonna make sure that it's gonna make a positive look at my program, because some kids, even though you lose to some of these big schools, some kids will come just because you do play those type of schools, big FCS schools. But to go down the nickel and get beat 51-7.
No, this is a home game, Coach.
I mean, I'm sorry. Bring them to Southern. Woo, that just bad all around. I heard your head coach's show, and he was kind of trying to just kind of blow it off and blow it away, but I just didn't think that was good.
Hey, I'll let Campbell open this one up, Coach, since you covered the game, Campbell.
Well, this was what I expected. And I think what people got to give credit, and this is a fact, Alabama State has the best defense in the SWAC. No doubt about it. And you saw that defense do everything possible to really hold the Rattlers down. I think this was Daniel Richardson, honestly. Well, it was his worst game to me because he threw 2 interceptions. He's been really good on the ball. I think those 2 throws and this was a question I asked Coach Colsey about this, is that there were plays I think Richardson thought he could make when there was actually the play call for him to make the correct play. And I think that's one of the things that Coach Colsey is probably going to say: play within yourself. Don't try to overextend the play when we've got what we call that could be successful. You know, one of the things that I wanted to see from FAMU, and again, you know, we were hoping that we would stop the run. And this is FAMU has done this constantly. First half, and again, they're 140 yards, 75 of that came on one run. So, and I think that was Deco Wilson was right there and just missed the tackle. It was right there, squared up, just missed the tackle, and the guy just went 70 yards. You take that away, we pretty much contained Alabama State. But with that being said, you want to see FAMU to play better. We got to just be honest. We want to see them play better going into the Jack State game. I still think there's opportunities. Again, I think offensively, I think we're fine. Again, I think we need to execute a little bit better. But Daniel Richardson, Ace Cobb, Gassett, those guys, I think we're fine. Again, once again, we still, FAMU, you know, it tickles me about our running game, because to me, we passed this up our running game because we still ran over 100 yards again. And we ran over 100 yards literally on every game. So we're running the ball. We're not running 200-300 yards. But if I can get 100 yards rushing, Richardson's giving me 250, 300 yards in the air, as Coach's point, we get almost 400 yards in offense. Now, however you get it is how you get it. But what I would like to do is see us execute better on offense, scoring the touchdowns. That's what I really want to see. But I think FAMU has set themselves up, and I think they understand what the mission is to go to Jack State, because that is going to be a hard-fought game. And again, if I had to be honest with you, I think Jack State would be favored. I think they're playing better than FAMU right now. But I think what FAMU has the advantage is they played all these close games. I don't think they're going to be worried if they're down a touchdown. And I think that does bode well. So if they can stay in the game, they can say, we've been there before. Jack State, this team has not been there because they haven't won anything yet. So my thing is, again, you know, Jackson State, FAMU, if we could stay with them, because like I said, those guys run out against us, 14, 21 points, yeah, then Jack State's going to win that game. But if we can kind of do what we've been doing, kind of hang around, make a play, I think our offense will make a play to win the game. But overall, I want to say one other thing, too. Shout out to the people at Alabama State, because that was an amazing environment. The stadium was amazing. The people were amazing. Shout out to the people that watched the off-script channel. I had a bunch of people say, hey, Mr. Campbell, where Thick 36 at? That was pretty funny and everything. So, you know, it was just really great to see how great this HBCU community is. And like I say, again, people doing all this talking on social media and stuff, that's not real people. Real people are the people at Alabama State that treat the FAMU people outstanding. So for all those people that are on social media that are doing all that, you are not real HBCU folks. Real HBCU folks are real people that spoke to me and treated me with a whole bunch of respect.
Oh, good, good. I'm glad you had a good time down there, Coach.
Yeah, and shout out to it's Frederick Singleton, right, Rocky?
Yeah. Fred Singleton.
See, I always want to say something about that. Thank you to him for the press pass. I mean, the press box was amazing. It was great to see. And Coach, you know what? I kind of felt like you and me. You were sitting there. You could see the game totally different from that press box. You could see things happening before it happens because of the vantage point. And it was things that I said, Alabama State's getting ready to do this, because you could see it from the vantage point. So again, just amazing time. I was able to ask a couple of questions to Coach Colsey and stuff during the press conference. Shout out to Josh Patil. Shout out to Coach Eddie Robinson, who said how much he enjoyed coming on the show. And everybody knows Eddie Robinson is one of my favorites because he's an 88 guy. But like I say, really impressed. And I think Alabama State is going to be a tough out no matter who's their quarterback.
Hey, Coach, you know, my only assessment was I expected Florida A&M to win the game. I didn't think the struggle would last, you know, a whole half. I thought y'all would get up on them and early and then just ride it on out. Looks like, you know, for the better part of 3 quarters, it was a real tussle. And so for that, you know, it made for a really good, entertaining game to watch. Go ahead, Coach.
Oh, I mean, it was just like we said it was. You know, you had a great defense. You had Florida A&M came through at the end. You know, they bend, but they didn't break. You know, The only thing I did like, you got at one point in the game, you got to try to win the game. You know what I'm saying? That means I got to do what it takes. If that's throwing the football, I gotta do it. I mean, I thought they waited too late to try to make those things happen. I hope they didn't recruit this kid that can't throw the football at all. It is what it is. That's all a part of sports. It's next man up. And when the next man up, he's got to be able to perform. I understand, how to build a program around a kid, but at some point in time, you got to go downfield. You got to let him throw some 5-yard hitches. You know what I mean? You just got to be a little more creative offensively than to just say, and they know you're going to run, and you just steady running every damn play, man. I just, I get it, though. I get it. But, hey, 2018, great game, hard fought game. I thought both teams was good, but I just didn't think at a point in that game that Alabama's. I hate when you put in plays or you call a play and the fumble snap, or it's like you hadn't worked that play, and maybe they did. They just messed up.
So one thing I can say about FAMU is in the past, they hadn't been a team that really turned the ball over a lot, right? They always have that one crucial turnover. I'll give them that in games. But this game, they returned the ball over 4 times, right? Do you think that was an anomaly, Mr. Campbell, or was it rust?
Yeah,
3 weeks.
Again, talking to Coach Cole, I think Richardson took some chances because 2 of those interceptions, again, the play was called for it to go. So, and the guys that it was supposed to go to were wide open. I think Richardson has confidence, and I think he tried to make play. Because honestly, and Coach Cole even said this, because I asked him a question. Early in the game, we went for it on 4th down. I thought, based off of how we knew inadequate Alabama State would be, is punt the ball, let's block, hold them deep, have them punt back to us. But they went for it. So I think FAMU wanted to be aggressive because I guess they felt really early that we get up 14 points on this team, they wouldn't be able to come back on us. And I think they really tried to make plays to do that instead of actually taking what the defense gave them. So I expect Richardson to get more within himself against Jackson State because he can't make those mistakes against Jackson State. So I think they're going to go back to say, hey, let's keep the game on schedule. Hey, if it's 3rd down and 5, let's do the 3rd down and 5 play. Let's go for the 25. If the 25-yard play is there when we call it, because the one thing when we call those plays, they are there. I think he still needs to go to the actual first read because I think it's always open.
All right, Coach. Now this game right here, Coach, between Jackson State and Florida A&M was interesting to me because of this. Jackson State, for thus part in this season, they've been a Jekyll and Hyde kind of team. When you talk about them soundly beating Southern and then coming out and laying an egg against Grambling. And then it looks like in this game, we saw both Jekyll and Hyde, meaning that they went up on them, I think 45-10 or something like that. And A&M fought all the way back. What do you guys think about Jackson State performance? Obviously, early it was a dominating performance, but they let them score 21 points in the final quarter. So what do you guys think about that?
Man, that game was over quick and early. I think that he kind of let them come back. I think, A&M had 28 first downs. I mean, stat wise, it looked good. They had the ball for 40 minutes. Alabama A&M 40. You know what I'm saying? And you couldn't say it was turnovers because it was only 1 turnover per team. But they jumped up on them so fast and so quick. And one time, the score was 44 to 9, something like that. So I looked at when did A&M score. They scored at the last of the 3rd quarter, and then they scored, I think, 2 times in the last quarter to make it look like it was a tough game. But A&M, they moved the ball. They moved the ball, but all that was late, though. It was late in the game. So I don't know. I mean, was it A&M playing Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde? I don't know. But I got to watch a little bit of it, look at the highlights, and JSU ran through them quick, Coach, quick.
I was just surprised that Xavier Langford was able to pass that ball that well late in the game. Like that really surprised me. It not only surprised me because it was him, but it was surprised me because it all looked really easy, you know. But maybe it was the coverage they was playing. Maybe who knows? The game was out of reach at that, for most of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that 14 points, you're saying those are pretty much cosmetic scores, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the game was really truly never in doubt, right?
Right.
Is what you're saying.
Right. They had them at one time 45-17, 38-10. It never was threatening. Even when I look at the scores, I mean, it was like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter when they scored. So it was seemed like it was a tough game, but I don't think so for Jackson State.
Well, I look at it like this: Jackson State, as they say, their first 22 is very talented. And this just shows, and again, like with any team, you just can't sit back there and think your backup's just going to finish the game out. Because from what I understood is that they took the guys out, which is smart. I don't blame them. I would take guys out too. Everybody knows what it is next game coming up. If I can get my young guys to get some time, if I can, keep my other guys healthy and things like that. But again, you get a quarterback, he starts get rolling, and then momentum starts going. And again, it wasn't even a lot of people, which shocked me. It was only I heard less than 20,000 people at this game or something like that. It wasn't a lot of people. So I guess Jackson State people don't want to travel this game either. So, I think, Jackson State did what they were supposed to do. I look at it for what it is. Jackson State, they scored the ball. That's the thing about it. It'd be different if they struggled scoring and they just shut Alabama A&M down. They didn't struggle scoring. They didn't have problems. Jacoby Morgan had the Jacoby Morgan game. The rushing attack, it looks like they didn't go over 200 yards. Herb Mulligan looks like 16 carries for 86 yards, 2 touchdowns. They had 140 yards total rushing. So, I mean, you get 140 yards rushing. That's great. But Jackson State ran for 200 yards in a couple of games. Right. So, I think overall, I mean, I like Coach said, the game was over with. Because, like I said, I text you guys when I looked at it. Coach was right. It was like 28-3. Or something like that. When I looked at
it was 38-0 at one time.
Yeah. Well, Paris, you saying it's cap. I'm telling you what your Jackson State people saying that they took I didn't watch the game. So you either call in and tell us what happened. Or if you did now, okay, I'm gonna go. This is my niece. She said that's cap. Or I'm gonna say that then your defense that you had your first team defense let 38 points happen. Now which one is it? Now you can't have it both ways. So either your defense played bad with your first team players, or your second string came in. Now, which one was it? So you answer that question for me, but I don't do no cap.
Well, so I'm gonna tell you exactly.
No, I'm sorry. No. Okay, well, let me apologize. She said she talked about the attendance. Okay, that's my niece because I thought she was talking about. Oh, wait a minute, because you said the third quarter. What you said, third quarter, you don't take your game out. So, parents, that's what I'm talking about. You said third quarter, you don't take your guys out, or are you saying you should not take your guys out the third quarter? Okay, maybe that's what she's saying. Because I wanted to say, hold on, because them Jackson State folks was calling me, telling me, man, we took our players out. Because I was texting them like, what's going on? So I apologize to Paris because I wanted to say, she said attendance, but there wasn't a lot of Jackson State folks in that game. I'm looking like y'all teasing us.
Well, there was a point in the game where I stopped watching it because I felt like Jackson State should have ran the ball every play in the second half. And there was a point where early in the third quarter, it was like 2nd and 10 or something like that. And they threw the ball and threw an interception. I thought that was unnecessary. I thought they should have just kept running the football. But
let me say this. That's going to be the Achilles heel of Jackson State not beating Alabama State. Is if if TC get cute and start throwing that ball when he should continue to mix it up. That's mark my word.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get to these picks and then we can get off, Coach.
Okay.
All right. We got Mary Mack and Morgan State. I got Morgan State.
Morgan State.
Give me Morgan State.
All right, Bethune and A&M. Woo! I'm going to take A&M.
I'll take A&M.
I am going to die on this Bethune-Cookman hill. And I'm going to keep saying Bethune-Cookman until they win a damn game. Because I saw this team. I believe the team offensively can do some things. I'm not sold on Alabama A&M. And plus, I have a bet that they were only going to win 2 SWAC games. So they got to lose this game for me not to have to wear Alabama A&M gear. So, hey, man, my daughter, like I said, went to Bethune-Cookman. I think they are going to go to Alabama A&M and finally play a complete game and win this game.
So if they don't win, what happens? And you win the bet?
I got to wear Alabama A&M stuff.
No, I'm saying if you're right and they don't win.
If I'm right, then the guy Jay White, Alabama A&M, he's got to wear FAMU stuff and say how great FAMU is.
All right. Hey, our coach maybe froze a little bit right now. But we can go and get ahead and get moving. Let me see. Tennessee State and Illinois. Who you got?
You know, I have not got a chance. Somebody's going to have to tell me in the chat because East Illinois has traditionally been a pretty good squad. I have not seen what they're playing at. But again, this game is at Tennessee State. You know, let me take a look at that before I make that pick because I want to make sure when I say this because I like to be accurate because I have not, again, I apologize for guys. So Eastern Illinois is 1-5, 0-2 in the Big South. Tennessee State 4-2, 2-1. I'm going to take Tennessee State then. If Eastern Illinois is 1-5, I'm going to take Tennessee State.
I'm going to take Tennessee State as well. I'm going to take Tennessee State. And then on this one, I'm going to be honest with you on this one. Mississippi Valley has a chance to win, in my opinion, because I don't think Alabama State can put up that many points.
But I'm telling you something. I want you to understand. As good, see, this is what I think people don't understand. FAMU's offense was playing against Alabama State's #1 defense. That's the reason why we didn't struggle against their offense. That wasn't a problem. Their offense only scored 10 points. So that wasn't a problem. We played their defense, and all those guys are there. So now, I'm sorry. Valley is not, and this game is in Montgomery, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way. Now, Eddie Robinson not going to lose. Eddie Robinson.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one.
That dude, listen, man, Eddie Robinson's built different, bro. I think people don't really realize. That dude still has that NFL intensity right now. And the brother look good. Y'all ain't going to lie. Brother, like he still go out there and play. So now I got to take Alabama State.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to take Alabama State. But is Valley going to go winless?
Well, have they played UAPB yet?
No.
There you go. That's their only chance to get a shot at a win.
Wow.
But I think that's their permanent cross match. So that's the bottom bowl game.
All right. Let's go with the next. Sacred Heart and Howard.
Sacred Heart and Howard. Let me see what we got.
I'm going to take Howard. Sacred Heart played Norfolk to a 10-3 victory. Norfolk ran for almost 300 yards on them.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say Howard's going to win this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take Howard, too. I just want to make sure when I was looking, because, again, not because, again, I was at the game, not being able to look and review a lot of this. But, yeah, I'm going to go Howard also.
All right. What about Townsend and Norfolk State?
Whew. You know, Townsend 2-3, Norfolk State 2-5. You know, I'm sorry, man. I just thought Norfolk State would just be better. I think they're going to run the ball again, but they can't score. Like Coach said, they can't score. They're 15 points a game. They can't score.
Yeah. So I got Townsend on this one. And then I didn't even ask us to pick this one. We know who we got on the Lynchburg HBCU. But this is an interesting one right here. Delaware State and Robert Morris.
Yeah.
I like Delaware State. I really do. I think they got some. I think they're going to pull out a victory.
Hey, Delaware State has played everybody tough this year. This game is at Robert Morris. You know, can Delaware State get this win? I mean, it's about execution with Delaware State. I think we all agree with that. If they can execute and, again, score the touchdown when it needs to be scored, then they win this game. But with that being said, they haven't done it all year. I'm going to go pick Robert Morris.
All right. Now, this is okay. This is not a big game because of the implications of the game. This is a big game because it's the SWAC being showcased on a Friday night on ESPN2. That's why I think it's a big game. And I think anytime the SWAC can get national attention will be, it's a great thing. I'm going to take Prairie View on this one. But there's something special about that UAPB quarterback. He'll be the best player on the field, but I'm going to take Prairie View on this one.
Hagen's on the season, 1,225 yards, 10 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. Prairie View looks like they finally got their quarterback with Johnson. But the question is, can they get Shamar Savage involved? This has been the biggest thing that I'm going to keep. You cannot have Shamar Savage only having 1 or 2 catches a game. The kid might be the most talented wide receiver in the SWAC. I heard there's some issues, down there as far as, understanding the plays and things like that. But I don't care, man. Run them some bubble screens. Run the kid on it, man. You got to throw the kid 6-7 balls, man. You got to throw the kid 6-7 balls. So, with that being said, man, the game, I'm going down this PVA Prairie View hill. I'm just going down this hill, man. I just believe that I'm a big fan of Bub McDowell, and I just believe that Prairie View's got to have some courage and guts. If they lose this game, I mean, honestly, they lose this game, people going to be like, Bub McDowell got to go. I'm being honest, because then they're going to say is, well, you looked up and won against Grambling.
Yeah.
And they really got to get something together. Because like I said, they're still in it. You know what I mean? They're still in it. So they can't say they don't have something to play for. They have something to play for. So come on, PV, don't make me look back. I picked you number 1. Like I said, I like you guys. Lionel's my nephew. He's doing a great job with his show. So PV, come on and get your uncle win over here.
All right, who you got, Coach? PV, UAPB.
They playing at UAPB?
Yes.
I'm going to take the upset. UAPB.
Oh, okay.
Woo-wee.
Coach, they won 1 game all year, Coach.
Mm-hmm. They waiting to win 2. I don't know what PV team is going to show up. That's all.
Good point.
Good point. And, they had a lot of changes and stuff.
Hey, do we even have to ask you on this one, Coach? I'm going to let you go first on this one. But do we have to ask you?
Oh, man, Texas Southern all the way.
I'll let you go, Campbell.
Listen, Southern's 2-3, 1-0 in the SWAC. Got that big victory. Texas Southern 2-3, 1-1 in SWAC. Again, this is when the West is going to be won in games like this. Texas Southern, if they want to show they're not pretenders, they got to win this game. Southern coming off of a very bad loss. Very bad loss. Texas Southern winning their homecoming game. Defense played pretty well against Jackson State. I got to go with Texas. Chris Dishman, I'm just trying to tell you, I just like the calmness about that guy. I think he's not too high. And again, what kills me, he was a stone cold killer at that cornerback position. But that dude's demeanor is just ice cold. So again, I'm just going to have to go with Texas Southern, man. Southern, I'm sorry. I'm not satisfied with what you guys are doing. So I'm taking Texas Southern. I cannot believe this, that I would ever say I'm taking Texas Southern over Southern Grambling or Jackson State. But I'm taking Texas Southern.
Now, if you look at the history of this game in the last 4 years, I want to say Texas Southern is up.
Yeah.
They beat them 25-0 Dooley's year. They beat them the year before that. They had them beat last year, and Dooley ended up pulling it off. But yeah. We'll see. It's a Houston team.
I've been personally waiting for Southern's season to collapse. I've said it. Me and you've talked a number of times, Coach Cole. I just don't think Southern is a good team. And maybe that's why Terrence Graves won't come on the show, because I said he doesn't have, because I don't think Southern's team is very good. If in fact they're able to sweep the Texas teams, in my opinion, they poised to be in the running to win the West. If they're able to sweep PV and Texas A&M, also understanding that they got a game against UAPB that's a winnable game, right?
Right.
They poised to sweep the West. I mean, they poised to win the West, because they would have exceeded my expectations immensely.
Well,
immensely. So, with that being said, I got Texas Southern in this game, and I want Southern. Again, I want Southern to be who they truly are. I don't want Southern to do what PV did, which is handing the game.
Yeah.
PV handed Southern the game, in my opinion. Texas Southern has proven to be pretty sound, a pretty sound team. They play fundamentals, not too dynamic offensively, but they play within themselves, and I think they'll pull out the victory.
Paris, we saw it, babe, but hey, man, Southern is they're just not consistent at all. And Texas Southern is just a solid team.
Well, I know. So I know the first time I saw Texas Southern beat Texas Southern beat Southern, Jason Rollins' head rolled. The next time, I think that contributed to Dooley's head rolling. you know.
Hey, Coach, listen, let me tell you what I love about Southern people. Now, Edwin Moore's my guy. I mean, he supports us, watch the show all the time. Shout out to Edwin Moore, supports all the channels. He says sweeping Texas is not SU's concern. Grambling and FAMU are Southern's concern. Hey, man, bro, y'all better be worried about Texas Southern, talking about worried about Grambling and FAMU. Bruh, come on down, Edwin. Come on now. FAMU you shouldn't even be thinking about FAMU. You shouldn't even think about it, because, bruh, y'all lose this game, because doesn't Southern play Alcorn after this? I think. Man, y'all boy, you talk about getting the FAMU, man. Y'all coach my name be coaching by the time y'all get to the FAMU game.
Ain't this guy a Southern guy right here? Is Adrian Crook a Southern guy?
Yeah, hey, Crook is old Southern guy, old Southern Crook.
Do ass mean something else in Louisiana other than what it means everywhere else? He said his quarterback is ass. Wow.
Yeah, no. It means exactly what. That's one thing about Crook. He gonna tell it what it is. I might not like some of the stuff he say, but he gonna say what it is.
All right. Okay. What does Adrian Crook say? We're gonna win the West. No. Yeah. I'm not saying you're gonna win the West. I'm saying that if you sweep Texas Southern and Prairie View, you're in a great position.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Like I say, but according to Edwin Moore, that's light work. They already got that in the bag. They worried about Grambling and SU. I mean, FAMU.
All right. And
he said,
"Go ahead."
No. He said, "I'm not thinking about FAMU. I'm just telling you, we're not worried about Texas Southern." He said, "Edwin, you literally said Grandview and FAMU are Southern's concern. You literally said that. So you're not thinking about it. You said that's their concern."
So I'm not. So let me say this. Let me just say this. I'm telling you, we're not worried about Texas Southern. What in the hell are you talking about, Edwin? Have you seen your team play?
Hey man, Edwin's what is that Columbia blue? Man, I don't know what blue. Columbia blue. What's they colors? What's Southern's colors? Columbia.
If Southern line up against the little giants, they should be concerned. You hear me? I mean, y'all just got beat 51-7 at home at your house.
And
Y'all
barely throwing over 100 yards.
They got beat by McNeese 21-7.
Yeah.
Hey man, I like the. You want that I love about them Southern folks? Hey man, Southern. I understand when FAMU was where y'all was at. We said the same thing. I get it. And we were 1-10.
My sister is a Southern alumni, and I thought she was just high minded. I guess they are high minded, huh?
That is. And he said we beat Prairie View's butt. Hell, everybody's beating Prairie View's butt. Man, that's why we worry about them. That's why Coach picked UAPB to beat them.
Man, y'all beat them 31-24. Get out of here. Stop it.
That's what I'm saying. Come on, man.
This is quote unquote the upset weekend SWAC.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next game. Enough of those Southern people. All right. Now, to me, this is the biggest game in the SWAC this week.
Thank you.
Because this literally, if there was a West Championship game, this could be it. This could be it. This game may end up deciding who plays FAMU or Jackson State in the SWAC championship. I've seen Grambling. I believe Grambling is a good team. And I'm gonna go ahead and pick Grambling on this one. I believe they got the most things going for them. They got Coach Joseph. They got Miles Crawley. And they playing in the hole. So I just think they got the most things going for them. So I'm gonna take Grambling in this game.
I got Grambling for some of those same reasons.
I'm gonna say this, and I've told people this. I love HBCU football. Grambling is one of those teams I've always loved. Grambling is going to do just like I said they're going to do Jackson State. They're going to put those old school jerseys back on. They're going to have that G shined up, and they're going to be all corner in that hole. Because these are games that Grambling wins historically. Are they going to beat them down? Are they going to beat them down? No, I don't know. I don't think Grambling is a beat them down team. I think Grambling, what they are in that hole in this season, because I feel it, because I felt it against Jackson State, is that there's a level of confidence that I think that they have when they play down there. Because again, this is one of the schools where, and Coach knows this, a lot of their alumni football players, and I'm talking about them old heads, come back to the games, and they talk to these guys all during the week and tell them we didn't lose Alcorn. And it gives these guys a quiet confidence that I think this team understands. So, hey, man, I'm going, like I say, I am going to take Grambling. I'm not sold on Alcorn. Alcorn has not done anything, even though they're 2-0 on the SWAC. But look who they played.
Right.
To get those two victories.
Well, this is what I want to ask you guys, because I want y'all to see this, and I'm gonna bring this up. Hold on, if I can get to the schedule anyway. Because I see something very interesting in this Grambling schedule. In this Grambling schedule. All right. They have Alcorn. If they win that game, right? Can we pencil them into the SWAC championship, considering they have UAPB, Texas Southern, Bethune-Cookman, Alabama State, and Alabama A&M?
Wow.
And then finish Southern.
No, he's talking about Grambling, right?
Grambling.
Yeah. If they beat Alcorn, can we pencil them in for the SWAC championship? Considering they got UAPB, Texas Southern, Bethune-Cookman, Alabama State, and Alabama A&M, and finish the season with Southern. Can we pencil them in?
You should be able to. There's a difference. You should be able to.
So Southern right now, they've got how many conferences? So Southern, let me look at Southern real quick. Southern got what? What are they in the conference? So they've got one conference, and they haven't lost anything. See, this is what's interesting about this. Grambling already has a conference loss. So you're saying they run the table. Here's the crazy thing about this and what's important. Grambling can run it. Southern loses to FAMU, they only have one conference loss. Because again, let's just play this out. Because if they lose to Alcorn, then it's a problem. But this game, the Bayou Classic, could actually mean something for the first time in a long time. But if I'm going to pick it, because I believe Southern's going to lose to Alcorn, I believe Southern's going to definitely lose to FAMU. There's no doubt. So that's 2 losses right there. So I think Grambling, like I say, wins the West because of that. I think that FAMU loss knocks them out.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I got best case scenario for Southern. I believe they lose to Texas Southern, Alcorn, FAMU. That's 3 losses.
Yeah, that would probably put them out because Grambling, if at worst, they would only have one more loss to. So that means they only have 2 losses.
And then with Alabama State being in that situation that they're in, even though Alabama State has a great defense, will they be able to put up enough points, in a game against Grambling? Like, those are the things that I've been, where is
that game? Where does Grambling play Alabama State at?
It is
at Alabama State.
It's in the hole. It's in the hole.
Oh well, yeah. No, Grambling's winning that game. There's no way that Alabama State win that game down there with that offense.
Man.
Yeah.
No way.
It's gonna be a low-scoring game, though.
So this is crazy. After the 19th, you could have 2 teams penciled in at the SWAC championship.
Yeah.
After the 19th. Now they be penciled in, but if put it like this, if FAMU wins, you definitely can pencil them in because they'd have to lose twice in order to get, they'd have to lose twice.
Right.
And certainly you could, and then based on the schedule, how the schedule lines up for Grambling, you could pencil those guys in if they just beat Alcorn this weekend, Again, that's why this game is a big game. This is a big game. Now, my question is Grambling the kind of team that if they beat Alcorn, can you count on them to run in the table against UAPB, Bethune-Cookman, Alabama A&M, Texas Southern?
The Texas Southern game would be the one that I think Grambling will be most worried about because the rest of those teams are going to be bad teams that's going to have well, let me tell you now, the UAPB game, where's that game at? That game should be a UAPB, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's in the hole.
This is set up for Grambling. It is set up for Grambling to really get through this because the big games are at home. And I'm sorry, I think Grambling, this ain't the Grambling team the last couple of years. I think Miss Mickey Joseph has his team mentally stronger and I think he was really upset after that Prairie View loss.
Yeah.
I think he was really upset. And I like when a coach is like, this is not the standard what we're trying to set here. So I'm sorry, I like Grambling for what they're set up to do.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I just want to let you know, guys, we failed again. I don't know what it is, but we end up doing 3 hours every Tuesday. I'm not going to put 3 hours on the calendar, but we've done it 3 weeks in a row. So it is what it is, fellas. So, but no, man, it's been a great show. I really enjoyed Gerald Thomas from the Tallahassee newspaper coming on the show. Coach Cole, I appreciate you taking time out while you're traveling, visiting your mother to do the show. Certainly appreciate you and Mr. Campbell. Thank you again for giving all your knowledge and expertise and covering the Florida A&M. I know it was a tough task. I know it took time out your schedule, your busy schedule.
Man, listen, man. I enjoyed that way, but man, I'm too old to be partying, man. I don't drink. I don't need no food to eat. I'm a football fan, and it was an honor. Thank you, Rocky. And Coach Cole, I want to thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity because, like I say, as anybody knows, I grew up with this. I love this, and I thank you for the opportunity for this. Let me just, be around like a SWAC legend because I told my cousin. He said Johnnie Cole. He said, hold on, that's he played out in Texas. I said, yeah, my cousin played in Southern. He played against you too, so he knows exactly who you are. So yeah, he watches now.
Oh
So
wow, good,
yeah.
good.
Hey, so now on the 19th, I'll be covering the Southern Alcorn game. You'll be covering the FAMU Jackson State game. And Coach Cole, what you gonna be covering on the 19th?
I'll be with Bluefield and Bowie State in Maryland.
Okay.
Oh,
Awesome.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Man, I tell you, Coach, it's getting bigger and better. We just gotta keep moving forward, man, and get them likes, and strike those likes. But another good show, like you said, and man, I'm having a great time with Mom. Just kind of turned all the engines off and just giving her all my time, and I think that's very important in your life, man. Just to sometimes go back where you started from and just refresh yourself. So it is good to see her. Like I said, she's 90 years old, but she still moves around, and we ate some good oxtails today and
watch out.
Jerk chicken, and we just spend a lot of time together, which is important.
Absolutely. Coach, if you don't have anything, Mr. Campbell, we can turn it over to Coach.
I got one thing. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it, and people are gonna get tired this week. October 19th, Jack State and FAMU play. It's a big football game. In 1961-62, FAMU and Jack State played Orange Blossom Classic Black Hawk National Championship. 1978, played again in the playoffs. Now there's another big game in this historic rivalry, two blue bloods. But what I am going to ask again is let's keep it respectful. So to my FAMU folks, don't nobody want to hear about no potholes, no dirty water, Dion. To my FAMU folks, to my JSU folks, don't nobody want to hear about OBG and $237. We've got football we could talk about. Let's have respect for each other. Let's honor this. The game is going to be on TV. That means people know this is a big game. So I'm just asking all of you all that have, for some reason, like to hide behind Twitter and get on Roughing the Swack and disrespect Jackson, Mississippi, and disrespect FAMU's band and all that. Cut it out. Cut it out. Act like you are an HBCU alumnus and be proud that we are able to talk about our football. So I'm just going to keep saying that. People are going to get sick of me. But I didn't grow up, Coach. I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with a lot of respect. We kept it between the lines. When you saw another person from another school after the game was over, you had a drink with them and you said, I'll see you next year. That's what I grew up with. This new generation, I don't know what's wrong with them. But I'm going to call them out for it because they're disrespecting the traditions and these rivalries. So for you all, and you know who you are, FAMU folks, Jack State folks, and folks that try to come in my positive post to talk about this boathism, none of it's right. And I'm going to keep calling y'all on it because that's not how y'all are raised. So respect Jackson State. Because I know Jackson State people. Jackson State people don't talk bad about folks. I know FAMU people. They don't talk bad about folks. So if you call yourself a Jackson State person, prove it. Be the class that the Tigers are. Be the class that the Rattlers are. And I'll see y'all October 19th.
Okay. All right. Big game. Man, look, like I told you guys, I came out here early, man, and I would recommend everybody within the 360 days to just go sit with Mom or go sit with your dad if you still have them in your life, because I think it's important because they like that, and my mom's here, but I got brothers. I got 7 brothers that they make sure that she's always taken care of. But hey, I'm gonna go and get on out of here. And as I say, I'm here at Citrus State's homecoming. They playing Clark, Atlanta. Guys, do me a favor, everybody. It's a free streaming. Go to HBCU Gold TV. It's free streaming if you want to see Black College, and it's just more than sports. It's about Black people talking about Black schools and talking about accomplishments and achievements. I think Mr. Byron Allen, who's a billionaire Black man, is on to something. So go and support HBCU Gold TV. And as I always say, man, life is beautiful. And that's the way you got to look, even in your downs, because the only way you grow is that you get down. The thing about it is don't be afraid of failing, be afraid of not trying. So if you feel yourself at the end of the rope, tie a knot and hold on tight.
Today is
Because
Monday,
ain't nobody
October 14th, 2024. Number 1, life is far from returning to normal for those in the path of at least one or maybe back-to-back hurricanes Helene and Milton. In the more than 2 weeks since Helene hit Florida, at least 230 people have died across the 6 affected states. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper signed a wide-ranging Hurricane Helene relief bill, putting more than $270 million to work, making sure that school employees will continue to be paid and ensuring that election officials have what they need to make upcoming elections run as smoothly as possible. Number 2, gunfire broke out among a crowd near Tennessee State University's homecoming celebration Saturday, killing 1 person and wounding 9 others. A crowd that gathered earlier Saturday for homecoming events was thinning out when people in 2 groups near the campus began shooting around 5 p.m. Metro Nashville Police Commander Anthony McClain said the gunfire did not appear to be directly related to university events, which included a parade and other festivities. Number 3, a large new study suggests COVID-19 could be a powerful risk factor for heart attacks or strokes for as long as 3 years after an infection. The study relied on medical records from roughly 250,000 people who were enrolled in a large database called the UK Biobank. People who caught COVID in 2020 before there were vaccines to blunt the infection had twice the risk of a major cardiac event like a heart attack or stroke or death for almost 3 years after their illness compared with the people who did not test positive. Number 4, an elderly white couple in a Memphis, Tennessee Walmart was caught on video using racial slurs and attacking a black woman with a shopping cart. The incident, shared on X, formerly Twitter, began when the couple demanded the woman move her items at a checkout and the man wearing a Make America Great Again hat used a racial slur. Despite a security guard's intervention, the couple continued their verbal assault, prompting the woman to confront them as they left the store. Number 5. It's Ministry Monday, asking the question, what is mustard seed faith? First, we must define faith. Faith is a gift from God. Faith is the substance hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. There are levels to faith: strong faith, weak faith, wavering faith, faith without works, active faith, little faith, blind faith, just to name a few. Then there's mustard seed faith. Mustard seeds are said to be the smallest of all seeds, and they can be found in the Middle East. Read more about mustard seed faith in today's Ministry Monday. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Being honest with yourself is the first step toward personal growth. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with our social justice contributor, Coy Malone, as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Black Health Matters. I'm Sybil Wilkes.
My name is Danny Wilson, and I won $500 on the lunch break with AJ Jones.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.